Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Tonight we're going to be doing the Berenstain Bear Scouts and the Stinky Milk Mystery, written by Stan and Jan Berenstain. Without further ado, let's begin. The Bear Scouts were bored. They were sitting around their clubhouse trying to figure out what to do. Scout's sister was reading the Bear Scout handbook. "Let's earn another merit badge," she said. "We haven't gotten the popsicle stick craft merit badge yet." "Oh boy," said Scout Brother, yawning. "I can hardly wait." Scout Lizzie was looking out the window. "What's Farmer Ben doing over there?" she asked. Farmer Ben was hard at work fixing his pasture fence. "It looks like Farmer Ben could use some help," said Scout Fred. "Bear Scouts are always helpful," said Brother. "And Farmer Ben is our neighbor," added Lizzie. "And?" asked Sister, holding up the Scout handbook. "We can earn the Good Neighbor Merit Badge." The Bear Scouts were out of the clubhouse in a flash and heading to Farmer Ben's fence. "Farmer Ben! Farmer Ben!" they called. "Do you need some help?" "Why, thank you kindly," said Farmer Ben, wiping his forehead with his handkerchief. "That's very neighborly of you." "What should we do?" asked Sister. "Well, now," said Farmer Ben, "you see where those cows of mine have strayed through the broken fence into the next field?" They all looked and nodded. "If you could round them up and shoo them back into my pasture," said Ben, "I could finish fixing the fence." This job was just right for the Bear Scouts. Waving their hats and shouting, "Yeehaw!" they quickly rounded up the cows and chased them back into the pasture where they belonged. "That's fine," said Farmer Ben. "Now, just one more rail." The Scouts helped lift it in place, and we're done. "What's next?" asked Scout Sister. This was more fun than sitting around the clubhouse trying to figure out what to do. "Well," said Ben, "if you really want to help, there's always chores to be done around the farm." So the Bear Scouts got to work. They fed the chickens, collected the eggs, they slopped the hogs, and they cleaned out the barn. Soon, they were tired and covered with bits of straw. But there was still more work to be done. Sitting around the clubhouse, doing nothing, was starting to look a lot better. "It's almost milking time," said Farmer Ben. "Let's call the cows into the barn." "Here, bossy! Here, bossy!" The Scouts started to call with Farmer Ben. The cows all herded into the barn and lined up into their stalls. Farmer Ben went from cow to cow with a milk pail and a stool and milked the cows. He showed the Bear Scouts how to do it, and Farmer Ben was an expert. He could squirt milk right into the barn cats' mouths. But wait a minute. Why were the cats making faces when spitting out the milk? Was there something wrong with it? Sister took a taste. "Yuck! It was stinky. It tasted sour and smelled bad. What in the world happened to my milk?" gasped Farmer Ben. "It's never tasted like this before." It was a mystery. The Stinky Milk Mystery. That's when Scout Lizzie noticed that Dr. Wise Old Owl had been asleep in the rafters of the barn. Maybe he was able to help solve the mystery. "Dr. Wise Old Owl! Dr. Wise Old Owl!" called Lizzie. "Can you tell us why Farmer Ben's milk turned bad?" Dr. Wise Old Owl blinked, ruffled his feathers, and said, "The green on the other side is not always the same. The fence that was broken may be to blame." "What does that mean?" wondered Scout Sister. "The green on the other side of what?" "Of the fence," answered Scout Fred. "The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence." Said Scout Brother. "Maybe we should take a look at the other side of that fence." So the Scouts and Farmer Ben went into the pasture and climbed over the fence into the next field. Scout Lizzie pulled up a clump of grass, only There was a stinky smell. "Look," she said, wrinkling her nose. "It's onion grass." "Onion grass?" said Farmer Ben. "So that's what happened. My cows strayed through the broken fence and ate some onion grass that turned their milk sour. That was indeed what happened." The Bear Scouts had earned their Good Neighbor Bear badge, but what to do about the spoiled milk? Farmer Ben was afraid they would have to throw it all out. But then Mrs. Ben had a wonderful idea. She made a huge batch of cream of onion soup, and it was delicious. And that's it for this book. If you like these books, you can always pick them up at your nearest library. And until then, we'll catch you in the next one.